Hello and welcome everybody, I hope that you're all good, and it's time for the Dazzling Dream event, bringing in this thing as a shiny for the first time in the game. So Cutiefly, having been introduced last year, now it has a shiny, and it's a pink shiny. Not an overly usable Pokemon, I've got to be honest, but it's a fairy type focused event, which is awesome. There is a nearby showcase, which is actually, hysterically, just fairy type in general. So before we jump into the full video, we're going to go through some tips and advice for this event that runs through until 8 PM on January the 16th, your local time. So first up, the research task. Power up a Pokemon 10 times is going to be the one for Cutiefly. However, bad news is that it is also sat alongside Swirlix and Spritzee, so there's 3 potential Pokemon from that research task. So I personally despise that sort of thing, multiple Pokemon into a quest where you want to chase the new shiny. Something that's good though is that the bonuses are, where are you? Well, let's get to the collection challenges soon. It's 2 times catch and hatch Stardust, and there are event 7km eggs, which obviously if you have the expedition ticket for January, means you can open 50 gifts per day, otherwise it's 40. Let's see how bad the egg drop rate from gifts is. Now, as you see here, there are 2 different collection challenges. One is catch and evolve, which isn't too bad. This is the one that's caused a lot of aggro on social media, and I can understand why. Dazzling Dream Hatch Challenge. Now, hatches are random, as we know, and most people don't really care for the eggs or the 7km eggs because they're limited and they take a long time to walk off. There is no reduced egg distance for this event at all, so you have to hatch one of each of the event Pokemon featured in those 7km eggs, which is, I think, a bit of a scam, just forcing people to hatch eggs. I know the event runs for 5 days or so, but that's still, you have to get very lucky in hoping to hatch one of every Pokemon. Now back to some good news. I have to say a big thank you to Andrew, aka the Wolverine, for gifting me the ticket event for this event, as it sounds. So the Dazzling Dream Fairy Tale, we've got 2 pages of special research. It was $2, and I think at the end of it you get a bunch of different encounters, which is always great. Quickly, as a little proviso for the immediate now, there is an issue with the sprites for Pokemon that have different variations of them, like Combi, Hippopotas, and the Hippowdon, as well as Burmy and a couple of others. These Pokemon that are the same Pokemon but have different skins depending on male and female and form, at the moment are bugged. So you can click on one of them, it will turn into the other one when you see the encounter screen. I'm hoping Niantic are working on fixing that because it's really irritating. Now let's jump into the event stuff. So we'll go and grind the field research task. We're working on getting a fresh batch of 7km eggs as well. Morlul is featured in the wild spawns, and that not only is a very good shiny, a lot of people don't have it, but it's a 500 base Stardust per catch. So that with double dust on it, whack a star piece down, catch a Morlul during this event, it is a nice 1500 dust per catch. So we're going to go and grind that, people. So if you haven't done so already, please do smash that like button and do subscribe if you are new as well. I'd hugely appreciate your support if you enjoy Pokemon Go content, travel content, etc. Not only are we going to go and shiny check a Spritzee, which I do need one more of actually, so we'll go and grind that, but I need something to warm my hands up and also get a caffeine boost, so I think coffee from Black Sheep is very much in order. I know I've already shown you guys the Hippowdon, but that is a male combi turning into a female combi. Clear as day, that's a male on the map. You tap it, female. So just bear that in mind when you're catching these Pokemon at the current time. They may fix this bug in a couple of days, they could wait 5 years. We don't know with Niantic. Let's check this Zorua because I've still not got the shiny of that, so let's see. Obviously it's quite nice to see it as a circuitry on the map, but while we catch that, I'm already annoyed with this event for 2 reasons. As we experience with every single event that has event-focused 7km eggs, the drop rate of the eggs from gifts is pathetic. Can there be a blue Zorua to lighten the mood? No. Let me show you the journal. Literally, I opened about 7 gifts to get 1 7km egg. You know, I know I have the extended gift opening for the month because of a purchase ticket, but it's a 7km focused event. Why is this still happening? Like 3-4 years down the line. I think it's ridiculous. All of these stops down there and around there, Ealing Green, etc. 2 Power of Pokemon 10 times tasks. It's a 1 in 3 chance. And we've seen literally 3 Cutiefly in the wild so far, so I don't know if that's because of the weather boost or something, but at the moment it's shaping up like another case of Niantic getting a good event and turning it to rubbish, unfortunately, which is seeming to be a common trend for what they're doing. So while we're here, let's claim this ticketed research, shall we? Let's see what we're going to get. Page 1, Cutiefly, 3, 5, 6. These should all be event spawns. There's the Swirlix. Third check is the Spritzee, which we do still need a shiny of. This one, Carbink, 621, and then we get the 2 passes and a star piece, and then the second page is just get a bunch of Stardust, which is just going to happen over time with catching and hatching, etc. Finally, after nearly an hour of doing the event, we have a batch of 3 Power Up Pokemon 10 times, and what are we going to get? That's a Cutiefly for number 1, and 3, 5, 4. Check. Swirlix. See, that's the problem with this research task. The 1 in 3 rare. If it's going to be rare, why make it a 1 in 3 chance of getting the new shiny or getting the Pokemon that can be the new shiny? It's going to be a full odds shiny anyway, so it's already hard enough. Spritzy, so we got 1 of each. I honestly despise deeply that they've done that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. I'm just not personally a fan of when they do this with events of the new shiny is here. It's very scarce in the wild, including 1 from paid ticket research and 1 from the actual research. We've seen 7 in an hour. This claim the collection challenges sometimes does very well for us. Nope, carbing. We've got page 2 of the paid research to do, but first of all, this showcase, it's just for the biggest fairy type Pokemon, which means people are going to be putting in, like me, Xerneas, and possibly the Galarian Weezing, as you can see there. So let's whack in a Xerneas into a showcase. This is hysterical. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind them doing more legendary showcases, actually. I'm a rank 2 somehow. And behind a... How's a Galarian Weezing bigger than a Xerneas? Now, let's quickly claim all of these Pokemon rewards. And annoyingly, I don't like the fact you can't stack these. I wish you could stack these, but because they're special research. There's a Cutiefly, 370. Ooh. Swirlix. It's going to be one of every event spawn. You guys probably know this. You may have seen somebody else's content where they went through this. I just want to see if we can pick up something good. We'll do a little 4-star check afterwards, of course, as well. Check. There's another Cutiefly. Or if it's going to give us a little bit of like 3 of 3 of 3, I think it might do actually. 3 of 3. Means you get a couple of Cutiefly checks in. Let me know in the comments below if you managed to pull in the shiny Cutiefly already, because I mean, props to you, seriously. If you managed to get the shiny Cutiefly already today, seriously, well done. I've not seen enough to even quantify thinking it's a perma-boosted shiny. Check. Yes, I know, I must complete the special research. Penultimate check. Boom, Spritzy, not shiny, of course. And finally, 1-star piece, I won't say no to it, and Carbink. We know that's not a 100 because we've seen 621, etc. That's 11, 11, 11. Key thing is, was there a 4-star in there? No. Right, so we've got 3 more tasks, having searched a lot of the Broadway. Check. Is going to be Cutiefly. It's not shiny, 361. I think it's 380 something from the hundo. I'm not 100% sure actually, but check. Not a pink Cutiefly, shiny 369. Will it be 3 for 3? It is somehow. Oh my goodness me, 369 again. No shiny, but at least there are 3 Cutieflies. Wowzer, first spawn off Daily Incense is a Galarian Moltres. Caught me off guard somewhat. Oh my goodness me. So 1827. Time to consult the Go Hub article. Galarian Moltres, I don't think it's weather boosted. 1827 is not going to be one of the 100% possibilities. No need to try and master ball this, but we are going to try and go for a good old excellent and golden Raz with an Ultra Ball, and I've never been able to hit a decent circle on one of these, and still have never been able to. I can't gauge the hitbox on this thing. Gone instantly. Damn. May not be off Daily Adventure Incense, but boom, we have a shiny for today. And it's a level 1 shiny Morlul. I was actually going to do the Pokédex evolution of this today for the shiny, but level 1, I'll definitely take it. That's my 3rd one ever. We did get quite lucky in the previous event. 12 CP is a little tiny level 1er. Now maybe there's a Galarian bird waiting on the other side for us. I don't think so. Content creator's worst nightmare. I was doing my daily incense, finished it up while quick catching, and all my 7km eggs have now hatched, and the animation is glitched because I was quick catching. So, we're going to take a look at the storage first. We've managed to complete the collection challenge. No shinies, you can see there are 4 Swirlix, but at least 2 were Cutiefly. Was there anything 4-star goodness-wise? No, there wasn't. What a shame. But now we need to incubate and get a full batch going. We'll try and walk those off as best we can, but we've got that task, hatch an egg for an Alolan Vulpix. Now, what's the hatch challenge thing going to give us? It is another Carbink. But what I did want to do, before we forget, is go the shiny. And unfortunately, I think one of them is in the gym. It's a 2-star. I think that's the one I traded. Yes, we did trade it. Let's get ourselves a Pokédex shiny. Very, very rare that I'm able to do this sort of thing. Only if I tend to leave the Pokédex entry until the year after it's released. But here we go. Morlul into... I don't know what the name of this Pokemon is. But I have seen the normal one. This is a much nicer shiny. Shinotic? I think it's Shinotic. Fantastic. Pokédex into there. And I don't think it's terribly good, but it's a cool looking Pokemon, that's for damn sure. Let's put a few candies into this thing, shall we? Not sure which ones these are going to be. Let's check the bottom one first. It is a Cutiefly. That one is also a Cutiefly. 362. That's 136 collection challenges completed. Get another batch of eggs on and walk, and honestly, the best advice for this event I can give you is drop an incense. Not only drop an incense to try and get the Cutiefly spawns, but drop a download to the Incensed podcast while you're at it. We do have a fabulous guest on this week's show that's dropping on Sunday, tomorrow for you all, is Joe Beats, the one and only Twitch streamer. So definitely go and drop that a download. And thanks to Joe Beats for jumping on with us in the process of hatching some 7-kilometer eggs of this event. So let's have a little pause and go through some of the news that's come up. So you'll know that Chansey is going to be February's Community Day, and Blissey getting, Wild Charge is going to be very weird and basically irrelevant, but it's a good chance to try and get your Shiny Happiny and some Chansey XLs and a boosted Shiny. So best of luck for that. That's February the 4th. And we had some more information about Sinnoh Tour, and the thing that I'm interested in talking about is the Origin form Palkia and Dialga and the adventure effects is going to be very interesting to play with in the game. However, it is going to cost you resources and Stardust. Thankfully it's not XL candy, you have to burn it's the regular candy, which of course you can get rare candy from field research tasks or doing any tier of raid. It does mean that if you have Dialga with Roar of Time on it, you could potentially do a 24 hours of daily adventure incense, which is actually insane. Once we've done LA Sinnoh Tour, expect to be seeing that sort of challenge on the channel soon, but this will crop up again in various videos and probably over the course of LA Sinnoh Tour when we're there. I really despise how, you won't see it on this if I open the article perhaps, how it says that you may have a chance of getting Roar of Time or Spatial Rend on Origin form Palkia or Dialga. I don't know if they're going to be on the actual normal forms of these Pokemon. I really don't like how they've said you can get a chance of the signature attack. I sort of say, how dare you, Niantic? You'll be able to get it in Global Tour, which is okay. You still have to, of course, spend money mostly to get the raid passes, so you do the raid pass, and you could, theoretically, this is what I really don't like, is theoretically, you could get a Shundo of Origin form Palkia or Dialga, and it may not have the exclusive move on it during that event, which I think is criminal. Particularly so if you go to LA and spend X amount of thousands of dollars to do the travel, the accommodation, the $100 worth of event ticket if you buy basically everything, which is what I have done because of content, etc. And you may not get the exclusive move having traveled there. The Roar of Time one is probably my favorite, to be honest. It's the increase of the Lucky Egg, the Adventure Incense and Normal Incense potential, which is awesome. And Lucky Eggs as well, so it's kind of like item duration, and you basically stop the timer for 6 minutes, which is cool. Sorry, I'm not a Debbie Downer at the moment, but Niantic are really not doing their best to coax people into being in favour with them. You remember in 2023 when we had the increased spawn radius, which I think was happening around July, around Squirtle Comday Classic from rough memory. Everyone was like, wow, I can see Pokemon from a much further distance away, this is insane, and Niantic confirmed or addressed their sponsored in-house creators and people and said, hey, get the word out, this is a quality of life update. Well, then 2 days later they took it away and said, no, this is a mistake, and they stabbed all the creators in the back, basically. It turns out that Spatial Rend is going to give you that bonus of an increased spawn radius, which is great to see it coming back, but the fact you have to pay resources to use it, when last year Niantic said it was going to be a quality of life update and then went back on themselves 2 days later, I think is again fairly criminal of them. There's some great stuff, and I'm very, very pleased to see the Origin form Dialga and Palkia coming to the game through this event, and they'll be available in raid rotations, which is great. Having no remote raid limit during Global Tour, there's like the whole weekend, it's basically 2.5-3 days of no remote raid limit, which is insane, but it's going to cost a hell of a lot of money if you do just basically stay up all day and all night raiding. It's not in here, but there's a few cool things like Hisuian Voltorb and Hisuian Quillfish Shinies being released. There's a lot more Hisuian Pokemon being introduced in Sinnoh Tour, which is great. And on the note of Hisuian Pokemon, tomorrow is Hisuian Typhlosion Raid Day. We'll be out doing that, and bear in mind, it won't have Blast Burn. It's not going to get Blast Burn at this point, so it's kind of an irrelevant Pokemon, I think. After this disappointing Dream event, then we're going to have the Battle Week, which is going to be cool, with Annialape, the Paldean evolution of Primeape coming to the game, which of course you'll be able to evolve once you've done, I think it's Battle, Psychic or Ghost types. You have to battle 32 of them or something along those lines. But Sork and Throw are going to be available in all regions, which is great if you haven't had those shinies, so best of luck to you. That runs from January the 19th to the 24th, so another 5-day event. At least it starts on a Friday and it does overlap on a weekend. I like these events to run for like a week to 10 days, not 5 to 4 days. You know, these events should give you a bit more time to get into the gist of them and actually have a go at them, because most people are not like me, able to go out and vlog and create content and, you know, grind the event day on day on day. Most people have daytime jobs and families and things to do. A weekend may be the only chance they get, so, you know, that's that. But 30 psychic or ghost type Pokemon you have to battle or defeat, so that will be, I assume, grunts, gyms, raids, possibly PvP as well, that sort of thing. But there will be quadruple dust for your GBL battles over the course of that week as well, which is very, very cool. That's sort of some of the news for this next week or 2 weeks, and that Dialga Origin and Palkia Origin moveset thing has really annoyed me, just because last year for Hoenn Tour, at least if you did the raids, the exclusive move Precipice Blades or Origin Pulse was guaranteed on those said legendaries. This time round for Sinnoh Tour, they're not. I just think, why? You're making it a chance of a chance of a chance of a chance. Because you have to chance the IV, you have to chance the shiny, you have to chance if you're even going to catch the damn thing if it's not going to be shiny, and then you have to chance if you're going to get the exclusive move on it, and it's too many slot machines inside of one Pokemon mechanic. That's just my take on it. I'm seriously done with today. Nothing's going to plan. We were walking and literally I haven't caught anything for like 10 minutes. The game had to restart. I restarted it. And I was thinking, like, waiting for the egg animation to come across. My quest ticked off, hatch 2 eggs, hatch 2 eggs, hatch an egg. The eggs have hatched, I never got the animation for the second time today. So, no shiny from those eggs, it seems. Quick check of the IVs. I was rather hoping for a good old, you know, what are we going to get out of the eggs? But the game doesn't even want to give us that for the event. Another batch of dead 7-kilometer eggs. So I'm going to put another batch in, but I don't know if I'm going to walk them off, to be honest, because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to open another batch of 7-kilometer eggs with my egg luck at the moment. Finally, over an hour later of not quick catching, just shiny checking, we have an egg animation. We can actually do some, will we get something good? We're probably not, but let's check. Egg number 1 is a Togepi, and egg number 2. Will we complete the theoretical collection challenge? That's the key thing. In a batch of 9, okay, we're at double Togepi. Okay, 2 of 2. We need the Swirlix and that Cutiefly. Come on. There's the Cutiefly. Swirlix. Will we get that 4th? Nope, there's another Togepi. They all can all be shiny, of course. There's another Spritzy. So this will be the bad thing. If we don't get the oh, okay. We've got one more egg, I think.
There's always one.
One more egg. Will it be Swirlix? There you go. So theoretically you can get in one batch of eggs, but I am burning through A, super incubators, and B, 9 eggs at a time. No, that Spritzy and that Cutiefly are identical IV. Honestly, I think after that, might be time to call it. Cutiefly in the wild, not shiny. The sun's going to go down. Can we evolve our dust-formed Rockruff, actually? Yes, we can do. The tiny shiny Rockruff can now become a tiny shiny Lycanroc. Fantastic. The window here in the UK is quite big. I think it's from about sort of 3:15 right through until about like 5-ish. So it's a decent-ish time window, but unfortunately it won't ever make a place in a showcase because until they switch the meta around, but boom, tiny little Lycanroc, very adorable indeed, and possibly one of the rarest Pokemon you might see on the internet. Now is time to wrap up today's event grind and showcase for the Dazzling Dream event. Obviously starting on a Saturday, which is quite handy for a lot of people, able to get out and about and grind for the first day of the event. So let me know how you've done so far, and is there anything you're specifically chasing? Very pleased with that level 1 Morlul. Not a shiny we actually needed since the previous event, but very, very happy to take a level 1 shiny. They're very nice collectible stuff. And no joy in the Cutiefly just yet, but obviously it's here for another sort of 4 or 5 days, which is great. But I still maintain there's quite a few negatives to do with this event. However, some of the positives, the 2 times dust for catching stuff is fantastic. It means you can just catch a bit of everything, whack a star piece down, and particularly if you find those Morlul, 1,000 dust per catch at the moment, which is amazing. However, those 7-kilometer eggs, I've maxed out on the eggs today, and it's actually 30 eggs out of 50 gifts for me, which isn't the worst ratio, because Francesco at the moment has had 4 eggs out of 15 gifts, so the ratio can be really skewed, and I really don't like how they've done the field research task for this one. But Niantic is Niantic, and they'll do what the hell they fancy, whether it buries them in the ground or not. So I will say, if you enjoyed the video, hopefully you did and enjoyed the information, please do smash that like button and do subscribe if you are new as well. I'd hugely appreciate the support. And speaking of support, every person who's on the rolling credits at the end of every single video, my fantastic Patreon squad, thank you so much everybody for your continued support and your pledges. It really does help keep the content and live streams and the travel possible to bring to the channel. And there's some more bits and pieces going up on Patreon, so if you fancy joining, the link is in the description right now. Coming up, we've obviously got the Hisuian Typhlosion raid day tomorrow. There'll be a vlog up on the channel for that. I'm not sure if we're going to do that locally. We may go in Central. I'm not sure. Final thing, we dropped the LA Sinnoh Tour merch yesterday, so it's available on screen. It's an amazing, amazing design with fantastic sunset colors, metallic text, and a big star in the middle of the logo. It's very, very different from what we've done in the previous sort of years of merch here. So that's available on both the UK EU store and the US Oceania store. And at the moment, until the 16th of January, there's free shipping. I think it's free standard shipping off the top of my head, but there may be future discounts because the store do them themselves. It's not me inputting them, unfortunately. There will be future discounts in the coming weeks, which is fantastic. It's a great piece of merch, so head over to one of those stores and cop something if you fancy it. And that will be the final bit of information. So I'm going to say toot, toot, toot. Until the next time, do take care.